Hello, everyone. This is Corinne Joy Vota, sports photographer and person who reviews things. Today we're reviewing the PodTrak P2 by Zoom, the podcast recorder for everyone's USB mic. And I typically love stuff from Zoom. I think Zoom is a very impressive brand. But I'm going to tell you right now, say right up front so that nobody wastes time waiting for the but maybe at the end. I'm not recommending it. Now, that doesn't mean it has zero good qualities. In fact, the idea is genuinely appealing. It's portable, and it's clearly designed for podcasters who want something simple, like a grab-and-go box that helps you record conversations without turning your desk into like a spaceship. So, I want to talk about what it does well, and then I'll explain why, in my opinion, the problems are big enough that it just becomes, in my opinion, unusable. And it pains me to say that because I really do love Zoom and their products. So first, what's good? One, it's compact. I mean, it's really small. You can toss it in a bag, record on the go, and it's it. Two, it's built for around a podcast workflow. It's not trying to be every kind of audio device ever. It's meant to be the podcast box. And I respect that approach quite a bit because a lot of creators don't want to learn a full DAW or deal with a bunch of like audio routing or spend an hour troubleshooting settings. They want to hit record and talk. And three, simplicity is the whole pitch. Less gear, fewer steps, fewer moving parts between you and an episode. And on paper, that sounds perfect. But here's the thing with podcasting. The audio is the product, not the camera, not the lighting, not the background. Podcast listeners will forgive a lot, but if your audio feels rough, thin, delayed, distracting, they're gone. Sometimes the audio is the entire reason someone keeps listening. It's the difference between this sounds professional and this is exhausting. And for me, the PodTrak P2 falls apart in that exact area that matters most, which is audio performance. The biggest issue I ran across with this unit, well, first of all, let me explain. Fun fact. I did not own a USB microphone when I got this unit. So I went out and I got, do I have it here with me? Oh, I do have it here with me. I got this. It's the Audio-Technica 2020 USB microphone. And there'll be a separate review coming for this later. This I do recommend. Audio-Technica is actually a professional audio brand. They make really nice stuff, or they used to back in the day, like the AT4050 and some really high-end microphones. So I went with a brand I recognized. Anyway, so I got a USB microphone. This only took USB, which inherently has a problem in it, and that is audio lag. You are beyond the A to D conversion. So when I tested it in a real workflow, monitoring, listening back, using it like you'd actually use it, there's a delay that throws everything off. It's the kind of lag that makes you second guess your timing, like you're slow, you alter how you talk, it makes your voice feel disconnected from what you're hearing, and turns what should be something easy into something that feels weird and frustrating. There's a reason why different audio devices, like audio interfaces, give you real-time audio monitoring, even though it's recording something that's later. And this prohibits that from happening. So that's going to be a real problem if you're recording conversations or interviews. Anything where timing matters even a little, that lag becomes a constant annoyance. Now, theoretically, if you're not on headphones, which is a thing, right? Like just two people talking, you might be able to bypass that issue because it's sending out, you're not hearing what it sends out. But ask yourself if that sounds good or bad to you. Like I would actually want to hear what's being put down, from the 90s, so put down the tape, but I'd want to hear what's being sent through this to whatever medium I'm recording in. Yeah, so that was a big problem right out of the gate. And it records this little micro SD card here. And I don't know, I want to hear what's going down in real time. So next, sound quality. And this is where I'm going to be blunt. The audio I'm getting out of the P2 just isn't good enough for me to feel comfortable publishing it as a podcast product. It's just not, it's not just, oh, this is slightly worse than my audio studio setup. It's more like it doesn't sound clean or natural the way I want. It comes across thin or processed in a way I don't like, and I don't think serves your show. And if you're thinking, well, maybe most people won't notice, here's what I'll say. Your audience might not be able to explain what's wrong, but they can feel it. They'll just think, this sounds kind of off, and click away. It won't sound like other professional podcasts. Now, here's another con that matters more than it sounds at first. And that's what I was talking about, the USB microphone. And look, if you already have USB mics, it's fine. But the issue is what that choice does to your signal chain. With a USB microphone, the analog to digital conversion happens inside the microphone. So now your sound quality depends not only on the mic itself, but also on whatever converter and electronics the manufacturer built into that USB mic. And that quality can vary a lot. Now, overall, I've been kind of pleased with that Audio-Technica USB mic. Do I put that up against my traditional XLR mics? No, not even in the same ballpark. To me, that defeats the point of buying a dedicated podcast recorder, because I want the recorder or the interface to be the reliable part of the chain. I want predictable gain, predictable monitoring, and predictable sound quality. So when you combine the audio lag, the sound quality I'm not happy with, and the fact that you're locked into USB mics with who knows what conversion quality, the end result, in my opinion, is something that might technically function, but it doesn't function. Just because it functions doesn't mean it's usable. That's why, sadly, I cannot recommend the Zoom PodTrak P2. And this is coming from someone who has other Zoom mixers and live track things and loves them. I think I've been so pleased with the other Zoom products. I thought this would just be a smaller version of those. But it's not. There is a noticeable quality drop when it comes to this product. So what should you get instead? Now, if you care about audio quality, and you should, because podcast listeners they care. You're far better off with a real audio interface, something like a Focusrite Scarlett. I'll have some links below to some options. Yeah, there's a higher learning curve for something like that, but it's only slightly higher. It's still basically plug it in, select your input, set your gain, and you're rolling. And what you get in exchange is huge. It's substantially better. Cleaner sound, better mic preamps, more predictable monitoring, and a setup that could actually grow with you as your show grows. It also reduces the chance that you're fighting your gear. You're not constantly wondering whether your device is the reason your audio feels off, or why you can't focus the content. It's just solid and dependable. So again, recommending something like this, the Focusrite Scarlett. Now, the Zoom PodTrak P2 is a cool concept. I like the portability. I like the attempt at simplicity. But for podcasting, where the audio quality is almost the whole game, I can't justify using something that introduces lag, delivers sound I don't trust, and relies on USB microphones where the conversion quality can vary wildly. If you want your listeners to stick around, choose gear that makes your audio sound clean, natural, and professional. Get a real interface like the Focusrite Scarlett, or there's some other ones out there I'll link below. Accept that there's a tiny learning curve, and I mean tiny learning curve, and your podcast will sound as good as the pros. If you want, drop a comment with your current setup and what kind of show you're recording, solo interviews, remote guests, and I'll suggest an interface and mic combo that fits your situation. If you found this helpful, please like, subscribe. Really means a lot to me as this channel is growing. I appreciate it. Again, Corinne Joy Vota, sports photographer, reviewer of things, and we'll see you out there on the pitch.